At the start of the game, all the fleet cards are shuffled and put together on the top of the fleet road. These cards are then revealed, the first 4 cards revealed from the top of the fleet deck and placed out into the grid. At the start of the game, any card which is over 3, for example, heavy cruiser, would be placed face down into the graveyard to join the fleet deck later on. These cards can be purchased for their purchase cost at the top, and the value of the attack and defense factor is written on the card. The icon shows that they will work in the deploy phase, and each has its faction symbol on the card. If you come to the first deck, in the first turn here, the turn order is Scout, Deploy, Transport and Refresh. In a 4-player game, the first player draws 2 cards, the second player draws 3, and the third player and fourth player each draw 4 cards each to stagger the game beginning. So in the first action, Scout are able to explore ships from hand. So in the explore phase, if the Scout is in my hand at the beginning of the turn, I may explore, which means to draw a system card and reveal the system card. In this case, my Scout ship has discovered a nebula, and it may immediately deploy into the support slot on the nebula. I may also deploy a transport there if I wish to. However, I may explore again with a second Scout ship because this started in my hand. Therefore, I will send the Scout to explore, reveal the top system card, and in this case I have discovered a habitable world with a green border and 2 slots. This is a world which is both habitable, so an outpost can go there, and also colony suitable. Being a fertile world, it also has good resources, and it has support for 2 ships, Alpha Centauri. I then have 1 transport ship, which I can then place in the transport phase into my deck, where transports go here. When the transport ship goes to my deck, I get a credit to buy 1 ship of value 1 from the deck. So over here, you can see that of the fleet row and all the other cards that can be purchased, the only ships I could afford to buy would be a corvette, a Praetoran corvette, or an alliance cutter. At the beginning of the game, it's simply my choice which faction I wish to ally with. So I would buy an alliance cutter, and that goes on top of the transport in my fleet deck, which ends my turn, and the only thing left to do is to refresh. The 4th phase of the game, I draw 4 cards to my hand for my next turn, and for my next turn I will have 4 transports. So in my next turn I will skip the Scout phase and the deploy phase and simply buy cards. In this case, my next turn, after players have played, I may send 3 transports to the deck, and I may draw a heavy transport to increase my economy, and perhaps I would send a transport to Alpha Centauri. This turn, because I have no Scout ships, before I refresh, I draw 1 Scout ship to my hand, and then I draw only 3 cards, which will enable me to explore at the beginning of my next turn